What's up, guys? So this video is a long time coming. Releasing Valentine's Day weekend and hit digital just a few weeks ago. I said, you know what? Am I going to wait for physical media for this, or am I just going to watch it on digital? I had an offer, $15 to buy it on digital. Is that too much for it? Probably, but it's better than the $25 price point. So I went ahead and did it. Here's my review for Madam Web. This film is a part of the Sony verse, which is the Sony Spider-Man spin-off films with the two Venom films, Morbius, and now Madam Web, where Dakota Johnson plays Cassie Webb, who's got a mother who's had some history with spiders. As she studied spiders, and the man who was with her on her expedition had an alternative agenda to take the spider for his own and to take the power and harness it and get control. Who's this guy? I don't really know. What's his name? I don't I don't really know. Did they say his name in the film? Bad guy. Bad guy, generic bad guy. That's what he was. And that's probably what they had him listed as in the script. Because he takes the spider and now it's in the future. He's having dreams and visions that he's murdered by three spider women. And he finally says, I'm sick of having these dreams. I'm going to go ahead and kill these girls before they kill me. Now, these girls, why do they have spider powers? How did they get spider powers? Well, the film doesn't care to explain that to you. We're just supposed to follow them in present day, as now Cassandra Webb gets connected to them through a bus ride, and now she's a train ride, wherever the hell it was, and then she said, you know what? I'm going to now take these girls under my wing and protect them and save the day. Because she thinks that this spider guy that's running around, this bad guy with the spider powers, has a connection to her mother. Everything you've heard about this movie is true. But I will say that the film is not abysmal. I will say that there are certain scenes and moments and bits in the film that I thought worked and were not that bad. But when you have a film that is surrounded with mediocrity, a terrible screenplay, terrible line delivery by all the cast. I mean, they're doing what they can with this screenplay, but there's not much you can do with it because it is really bad. Some of these lines are laughably bad. And when you're surrounded by poor editing choices, strange cinematography, camera movements, just the whole thing, which make it feel less serious than it should be, like it's not taking itself too seriously, when in the next scene it does. And I think there's certain sequences in the film that worked. One in particular is a scene where she's on the job and she sees that one of the guys is going to get in a truck, drive away, and then get slammed into by another truck and die. She tries to warn him. He doesn't really listen. He drives away, and it's a shot of her walking away. So she's not looking at the truck. She's looking in the opposite direction. So in the background, we see the truck coming in and slamming into the other truck and killing the guy. I like that choice, but then it's immediately diminished when she turns around and runs toward the thing in slow motion. And the music gets over dramatic, and it's like, okay, now they're cooking it. So the director, I believe S.J. Clarkson is the director, just didn't know how to keep tension and suspense in the film, which is a shame because I think there could have been a good movie here with a better screenplay and a better villain. I think, like I said before, the villain's just extremely generic, and you don't really know anything about him other than he's obsessed with the spider and the power, and he wants it all for himself. And his line delivery, like he's so bad in this movie, so one note. I mean, there's a lot of ADR in the film where you can tell that his mouth's clearly not moving to what he's saying. Just a lot of that, which was a problem. And the three girls in the film, there was just one sequence in particular with them that took me out of the movie completely. Certain things took me out of the movie completely, like some of the editing, like I mentioned, some of the cinematography, just some of that was really strange. And like, this is really just too much, over stylized, I think. But there's a scene in a diner when they're sitting there and they see these guys over there, and one of them's like, let's go talk to the guys. So they go over there and they hear the music playing over the radio, and the one girl's like, "Oh, I gotta dance." So they move everything off the table as she gets onto the table and dances for these guys. If she was not dancing for the guys, she wouldn't have got on the table. And eventually, all three of the girls are up on the damn table dancing. First of all, you don't do that. You got no manners. I mean, this is a table you eat on, and it's just everybody around there is just, oh, this is normal. Nobody comes up and says, "Hey, can you get down?" It's just accepted. So that was really ridiculous. None of the action I thought was exciting or interesting. I thought it was boring. The final set piece I thought was boring. The way the villain goes out, I thought was boring and underwhelming. Just like the whole film, it does not need to be close to 2 hours long. It should have been cut at least 15 minutes. I mean, I don't think that would have helped anyway. But there's just so many things. Now, the guy who's playing her partner, who is going to be Uncle Ben eventually, he was good, but he's not in it enough, and he's not used as much as he should be. But I did think he was a standout. Other than that, no standouts. I think Dakota Johnson she's like 50-50 for me. She's good in some parts, and then some parts it's just like she knows that she's got a stinker on her hands, so she's playing into that. So yeah, the movie's not great. I don't think it's one of the worst movies ever made. I think it is watchable, even though that it's pretty bad. I would watch Morbius over this. I do think Morbius is a better movie. Cut the credit scene out of Morbius and like the final minute or two when they're trying to intercut it with the Spider-Man No Way Home, Doctor Strange spell. Morbius has its problems, but I don't think any of that film's problems are as close to the problems that this film had. I don't know if it was studio interference, the director is just being amateurish, the screenplay being amateurish, just the editing, the cinematography, all the choices. A lot of things did not come together for this movie. So Madam Web, look, what am I going to give it? I'm going to give it 1 out of 5 stars. Is this the worst movie of the year so far for me? No, I do think the film Night Swim is worse, but this is my second worst of the year so far. So yeah, that's my thoughts on Madam Web. Comment down below. Did you see the film? What'd you think about it? Is there someone out there that actually likes this movie genuinely? If you're watching this, I'd love to hear your thoughts and to why this worked for you. If it did work for you, you're not wrong. All film is subjective. That's the beauty of it. We're here to talk about it. So leave that down below. Also, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for a bunch of reviews coming in the future. Stuff that I've gotten on digital recently. Bob Marley, One Love, Argyle, the Drive Away Dolls film, which got some mixed reviews. Going to be checking out all that. And guys, you can follow me on Twitter at RyanKing72 and Instagram and TikTok at KingArises131. That's been it for me. Thank you so much for watching my review for Madam Web. And until next time, over and out.